student. Today we'll take lesson 5 in chapter 8, time to the hour analog. Okay, we have here a small model for 4 o'clock. Small model 4 clock. The clock, inside the clock, we have two hands, the short one and the long one. We have two hands inside the clock. The short one is called hour hand. The short one is called hour hand. And the long one is called minute hand. The long one is called minute hand. Okay, okay. The hour hands point at 5. The hour hand, the short one, the hour hand is point at 5. And the long one or the minute hand point at 12. The minute hand, the long one, is point at 12. So it called 5 o'clock. It called 5 o'clock. Okay, let's start. Use model the time given. This model, Ruby has band practice that start at 3 o'clock. Ruby has band practice that start at 3 o'clock. Show the time on the clock. Okay, we want to show 3 o'clock here on the model. We want to show 3 o'clock here on the model. How can we show? We have two hands. So the hour hand will point at 3. So we'll draw here 3. The hour hand will point at 3. Okay, the minute hand will point at 12. So the minute hand will point at 12. So it called 3 o'clock. So we show here 3 o'clock. The practice over at 5 o'clock. The practice is over at 5 o'clock. Show the time on the clock, trace the hand to show the time. So we'll trace here to make 5 o'clock. We'll make tracing on the hand. On the hour hand, we'll make tracing. Okay. Okay, next page. Here the model of the clock. We said before that the small one or the short one is called hour hand. The short one is called hour hand, and the long one is called minute hand. The long one is called minute hand. Okay, the short one or the hour hands point at 3. The short one or the hour hands point at 3, and the long one or the minute hand points at 12. So the clock is 3 o'clock. So we'll trace here together 3. Okay, question number 1. Use the model to show the time. Tell what time is shown. The first one. The short hand or the hour hand, the short one, the hour hand is point at 9. The long one, you see the long one? The long one, the minute hand is point at 12. So the clock will be 9 o'clock. So we'll draw here 9. Number 2. Which one is the short one? The 2. So this is the hour hand. The hour hands point at 2. And the minute hands point at 12. The hour hand point at 2 and the minute hand point at 12. So the clock will be 2 o'clock. So we'll draw here 2. Okay, number 3. The hour hand, the short one, the hour hand is point at 11. And the minute hand point at 12. So the clock will be 11 o'clock. So we'll draw here 11. Okay, number 4. The minute hand is point at 12. the hour hand point at 6. So the clock will be 6 o'clock. So we'll draw here 6. Okay, another activity. Use the model to show the time. Tell what time is shown. Write the time. Number 5. The minute hand is point at 12. The minute hand. So I'm talking about the long one. The minute hand is the long one. The minute hand is point at 12. And our hand point at 1. So the clock will be 1 o'clock. Okay, I'll draw here 1. Number 6. The minute hand point at, I'm talking about the long one or the short one? The long one. The long one is the minute hand. So the minute hand point at 12 and our hand point at 8. So the clock will be 8 o'clock. So we'll draw here 8. Number 7. The hour hand. The hour hand. Which one is the hour hand? The long one or the short one? I'm talking about the hour hand. So the hour hand will be the short one. Our hand is the short one. So the hour hands point at 4. And what about the minute hand? The minute hand points at 12. So the clock will be 4 o'clock. Number 8. Okay. The hour hand is point at 12. And the minute hand also point at 12. Okay. Both of the hands point at 12. So it's called 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Number 9. The hour hand. The hour hand. Look at the hour hand, the short one, is point at 5. And the minute hand point at 12. So it will be 5 o'clock. Number 10. The minute hand. Which one is the minute hand? The long one or the short one? The minute hand is the long one. So the long one or the minute hand is point at 12. And the short one or the hour hand point at 10. So it's called 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Okay. Number 11. The short hand, the hour hand, the short hand, the short one, the short hand, the hour hand is point at 7. And the minute hand point at 12. So it's called 7 o'clock. Okay, the last one in this page. The hour hand point at 3. And the minute hand point at 12. So it's called 3 o'clock. So we'll draw here 3. Okay. Next page, the problem solving. Solve, write the time, draw the hands on the clock. We will draw here the hands. Okay. Use the model to help. Okay. Number 13. Ava gets home at 3 o'clock. Ivan gets home 1 hour later. What time does Ivan gets home? Okay, let's show on the model the clock, the two hands. Okay, he said Ava gets home at 3 o'clock. So we want to draw 3 o'clock on that model. We want to draw here 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock, it means the hour hand will point at 3 o'clock. It means the hour hand, the short one, will point at 3. This is the short one. The hour hand will point at 3. Okay, the long one, the minute hand, the long one will point at 12. So we'll draw here the long one. So that will be 3 o'clock. The hour hand points at 3 and the minute hand points at 12. So it's called 3 o'clock. Okay, Ivan gets home 1 hour later. Ivan gets home 1 hour later. So let's draw. The minute hand will not change. The minute hand will not change. But the hour hand will be point at 4. So we'll draw here the hour hand point at 4 o'clock. Okay. What time did Ivan get home? It's get home at 4 o'clock. So we'll draw here 4. Okay. Thank you, my student, for your good listening. See you next lesson.